All right.
Welcome all you big hatters. It's great to be here, even if it has to be virtual. We appreciate everybody being here, and we appreciate all our big hatters and all our AMBUCS. Well, this year was a little bit challenging. I'm not so sure, since Jack is the national big hat president, if he didn't do some of this on purpose, because if you even heard him last year after our national big hat banquet and auction and everything, he was a little scared whether he could make it and do as good as, you know, some of us females. So I think he might have done this a little on purpose so he got out of it. But Jack will give you a break for that for this time. But you know, hey, I'm going to watch it. So we do want to say, though, even though it's been a challenging year for you, Jack, we want to thank you very much for what you've done for the organization and the Big Hatters. Again, we appreciate everybody who's become a new Big Hatter. We want you to keep encouraging others to become a Big Hatter. We hope that we have a better year, of course, as we proceed on. But at this time, Jack, we want to at least award you with the thing that you've worked hard to get, and that's your black hat. So, Jack, at this time, we would like to say congratulations for your great year and welcome to the Big Black Hatters.
Hey! Thanks, Carmela, but I assure you, I wasn't that desperate. I know I had big shoes to fill, but in your case, make that a whole lot of shoes. But I thank you for my black hat. It is truly an honor, and I will wear this hat with pride.
Okay, ready?
It's been a year of adventure for sure. With the quarantine and shutdowns, it changed my plans for the National Big Hat fundraiser. So in lieu of that, I would like to encourage each of you, not just big hatters, to contribute the price you would have paid for a sleepy-eyed scrambled egg breakfast of $25, or in Carmela's case, $50 for a steak dinner. In addition, I would further promote that each of your chapters contribute to the National Big Hat fundraiser the money you normally allocate to the Big Hat auction. And of course, more is greatly appreciated. So like they say, click on that button below and donate. Big Hatters are the encouragers of the AMBUCS membership. It is a club within a club that's both gratifying and rewarding. I encourage each of you non-Big Hatters to seek out and find 3 new members this year and get your big hat and join this organization. All you have to do is ask, because as you know, we have got a great story to tell. So far this year, we've picked up 15 new Big Hatters, raising our total to 1,100. That's about 1/4 of all AMBUCS members. Let's try and raise that to 1/3 for Paula, Flick, and Wendy. Growing the ranks of our Big Hat Club is vital to the AMBUCS mission. A challenge facing all service clubs today is stagnant or declining membership. But with just a little effort and commitment, we can continue to add energy to our mission and stabilize the future of the work AMBUCS is so proud of. If every AMBUCS would sign up just 1 new member in the next 12 months, we would double in size. And if that sounds ambitious, even if half of you signed up a new member, that would yield more than 1,500 new members to our rank. Is it worth the effort? I think so. Just think of the people we can serve with a larger organization. I think you'll agree. Despite the dip in revenue this year due to the pandemic, we are still able to raise about $15,000 so far. thanks to the generosity of our membership. I would be thrilled to see that figure rise after the conference. Earlier today, you heard from Dick Nowling, longtime great AMBUC and Black Hatter. I would hope that each of you would consider buying a 2020 conference pin. These are not just for big hatters. This is a commemorative pin for your lapel or your hat of the 2020 virtual conference year. And it's only $5. In conclusion, I'd like to say, when I took this job, like most new hat presidents, I had big ideas and big plans. This year, more than any other in memory, threw curveballs no one could have imagined. Yet I am still encouraged by the opportunities that are out there, or soon will be. I plan to continue my fundraising efforts and add to Paula's bounty for next year. If any of you share my enthusiasm, call or email me, or look at my plan on the national website. We have been shoulders together, 6 feet apart for a while now, but this too shall pass. While we must be at a distance right now, the AMBUC Nation, with the leadership of the Big Hat Club, will help ensure AMBUCS is a strong, sustainable, and productive organization to which you should be very proud to belong. I want to thank all of you for a memorable year. And at this time, I would like to turn it back over to the National President-elect, Sue Haywood, who has some important information about life memberships.
Thank you, Jack, for all you do for the Big Hatters. Many of you folks who are out there watching are life members of AMBUCS, but there's always room for more. Becoming a life member costs $575, which can be paid all at once or over the course of a year. After becoming a life member, you won't have to pay national membership dues, which are currently $25, for the rest of your life. Life members are, however, still responsible for chapter, district, and regional dues. Each year, our board of directors holds a drawing and allows a select number of individuals to join this esteemed group. This year, the board has approved the awarding of 15 life memberships. If you'd like to put your name in the virtual hat to be included in this drawing, simply click on that chat button on the right side of your screen and type in your first and last name, followed by the words life membership. We will then collect the names, have a drawing after this event, and notify our new life members next week. Now, I'd like to turn things back over to National President Vic Menendez, who will install our district and region officers.
Now it's time to recognize several district, regional, and national leaders. First, I'd like to install all of who have agreed to serve as district governors this coming year. Will the following folks, wherever you may be, please stand. Dick Nallen, District 5E. Gordon Shaw, District 5A. Anna Blueball, District 5B. Brooke Lindsay, District 5C. Glenda Devaney, District 5G. Lisa Harner, District 7D. And Gussie Jones, District 3E. There may be others out there who have agreed to serve as district governors, but we have not yet received that info. I invite you to stand also. We're excited each of you have been selected to join AMBUCS leadership team. As key leaders for your districts, the mantle of responsibility you have agreed to taken on, it's vital to the life of our organization and pursuit of our mission. Thank you for sharing your time and talent. In return, we pledge our support to you. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I pledge that I will faithfully promote and support the AMBUCS organization and its chapter's leadership, striving in every way to live up to the mission of AMBUCS of inspiring mobility and independence. Thank you for your leadership. Now I would like to recognize the following regional directors who will be rotating off the board of directors this year, having completed 2 years of service. Special thanks to Northeast Region Director Jamie Casino, Southern Region Director Michael Speakman, Great Plains Regional Director Scott Buckaloo. We also have a couple of new region directors and a new National Big Hat President who must be installed to becoming voting members of our board of directors. I would like to ask the following folks to please stand wherever you are. Northeast Region Director-elect Shirley Flickinger. Great Plains Region Director-elect Donna Hinston. National Big Hat President Paula Blakely. Our Southern Region Director will be installed at a later date. Shirley, Donna, and Paula, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I pledge that I will faithfully promote and support the AMBUCS organization and its chapter leadership, striving in every way to live up to the mission of AMBUCS of inspiring mobility and independence. Congratulations. Thank you, and welcome to the National AMBUCS Board of Directors. We look forward to working shoulders together with you.
It is my privilege to recognize Vic Menendez for his service to our organization this past year as our National President of AMBUCS. Although this year has been very unique, Vic has led us through it with determination and stubbornness. We have continued to have online meetings with our National Board and Executive Committee to continually take care of the business of our organization. Vic may not have been able to visit your chapter or region in person, but he maintained a connection with many of you with Zoom meetings. Vic loves AMBUCS and was excited to be our 98th National President. His motto for the year was, "Put me in, Coach, put me in." And he stayed on top of management issues and responded to individual questions from AMBUCS with encouragement and care. Don't think because this year as National President has ended that you will not see Vic in the coming year's activities. He will be involved as the past National President and remain on the roster. We want to thank his wife Sherry for allowing him to serve and take time away from her. Thank you, Vic, for your undying passion and love for AMBUCS, and we look forward to working together in the future, shoulders together. It's my honor to present you with the past president's pin.
Thank you, Sue.
Good afternoon, Vic. Zoom, and this is a surprise for you. As you can see, I'm sitting here with all the leaders from District 5A, Mountain Metro, Lawton Chapter, Great Plains, and Junior AMBUCS. In Pittsburgh, you told us, put us in, Coach, or put me in, Coach. Vic, you have always put us in the game. Your enthusiasm is infectious. Your passion for AMBUCS is very real. Today, Vic, District 5A, Mountain Metro, Lawton Chapter, Great Plains, and Junior AMBUCS would like to donate $6,000 towards the Vic Menendez Name Scholarship for William L. White. Congratulations, Vic. We love you.
Vic, an old cowboy told me once, you tip your hat to any lady, but you only tip your hat to a man that deserves it. You deserve it, my friend. Congratulations on a great year.
It is a
Great day to be an AMBUCS. Yeehaw! Yeah!
Hey. Oh, sorry again. Yeah, it's me again. I'm back with my PPEs, and it's time now that we showed our gratitude to Mr. National President Dick Menendez. Let me hear for Dick Menendez, folks. Oh, I don't believe I got that crap right. I think that's somebody else. Not Dick Menendez, Vic Menendez. Yes, Vic Menendez, National President. I tell you what, I was inspired by his speech earlier out there at the ballpark when he talked about when he used to play baseball as a wee little feller, when he was only about as tall as he is right now, I reckon. Anyway, when he used to play ball at the ABC ball field, he was out there playing, and they let him play catcher, what we used to call hind catcher. Well, that worked out pretty good because he didn't have to bend over. Squat. Well, anyway, he one day he got a hit in a ball game. It was exciting, and he's rounding the bases, come around second base, stretched a double into a triple, and there's a wild throw at third base. So there he had an opportunity to get home. And everybody in the stands was yelling, "Run home, Vic, run home." Well, Vic looked around like this, took off, didn't stop. They found him 2 hours later on his front porch. He'd run home, sure enough. That's our Vic for you. But I tell you what, he growed up from them days in the ABC ballpark, and he turned into quite a successful businessman. That's right. He runs Vic's Telecommunications. That's right. You need to talk and your phone won't ring? Call Vic's Telecommunications for 2 cans and a string. I tell you what, I'm proud of you, Vic Menendez. I tell you what, though, I want to tell you one last thing about Vic that you probably didn't know. It has a little bit to do with his real name, his full first name. But anyway, what do you call it when the national president knows something that you don't know? That's right. What do you call it when the national president knows something that you don't know? Well, I tell you what, before I answer that question, I've been told by many folks that we need to bring in some younger members. And the best thing that AMBUCS ever did was bring women into the organization because they're the lifeblood. They keep things moving and shaking, I tell you what. So what I done, I went and got a woman who's young to bring her into AMBUCS, and I'm going to let her answer the question of, what do you call it when the national president knows something you don't know?
Hey there. I just got back from one of them first-timers social things, and they taught me a joke, but I can't remember the punchline to it. What do you call it when the national president knows something you don't know? Victoria's Secret.
We love you, Vic.
Sometimes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll ask President-elect Sue Haywood to come to the front for the swearing-in ceremony. Sue Haywood, you are the President-elect. 30 years ago, you showed up at a civic meeting to give a program, and you were done. Those boys asked you a question. They said, "Is there anything we can do for you?" And you said, "Yes, you can." So Sue, I'm asking you this. Are you ready to serve this organization as national president?
Yes, I am.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I pledge to faithfully carry out the duties of my office
I pledge to faithfully carry out the duties of my office
as President of the National AMBUCS
as President of the National AMBUCS
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
safeguard the interest of the organization
safeguard the interest of the organization
and further the mission
to
inspire mobility and independence
inspire mobility and independence
because
it's a great day to be an AMBUC.
ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our National President, Sue Haywood.
I want to thank you for allowing me to be your 99th National President of AMBUCS. That seems pretty historic to me that 99 years ago, William L. White started this organization to sponsor scholarships to educate therapists. I'm a pediatric physical therapist, and I am the second physical therapist to be president of your national organization. 30 years ago, I was sitting at a basketball game in Longview, Texas, watching 6th grade basketball with my best friend, whose son was playing. And the gentleman sitting next to me, Larry Meeks, his son was playing with my friend's son, and he got a phone call, and he was a little upset afterwards. He said the speaker for his meeting Thursday had canceled. And I said, what meeting? And he said, AMBUCS. And I did what everybody does. What's an AMBUC? And he told me. And I said, well, I'm a pediatric physical therapist, and I would have loved to have known about your scholarship program, but I would also love to come and speak to your group. So that Thursday, I walk into the Hot Biscuit restaurant with about 85 gentlemen. There's a man walking around with a honker in a container collecting money, and he honked it, and people put money in it. I asked Larry, I said, do I need to have some money? He said, if you do, I'll cover you. I found out a little more about AMBUCS while I was there that day, and when I spoke, this is what I told them. I said, you know, I'm a pediatric physical therapist, and people wait 9 months for this bundle of joy, and they don't always get that. And it's my job to go in as a pediatric physical therapist and teach them how to roll over and sit up, crawl, and walk. And it takes equipment to do that. And the challenge I run into as a therapist is they don't make millions of them. They're real expensive. And I said, let me give you an illustration. I said, how many of you have children? And they raised their hands. And I said, how many of your children rode a tricycle? And they raised their hands again. I said, many times I would love to have more equipment, especially tricycles, but the one I have cost $1,000 and it just pedals with the hands. And I can leave it at a child's house for a month, and then after that I have to tell Mom I'm coming back to get it because I got to give it to someone else. And a gentleman in the back of the room named Gene Allen stood up and said, I'm a dumbass Aggie engineer, but I bet I could build you a tricycle for less than $1,000. And I said, sir, I will see you after the meeting. And I did. I went to his business after the meeting, and he and I sat down and talked. And he said, what do you need? What are you wanting? And I said, you know, I want something that pedals the hands and the feet. I have little bitty clients that are just so weak, and their arms are weak, their legs are weak, they're just weak all over. I want to be able to strap them on this tricycle with their feet strapped in and their hands strapped in, and they're safely strapped into the seat, and push it around, and while we're pushing it, their arms and legs would be moving. And he said, we can do that. And we made jigs. I didn't know what that was, but I learned. And we came up with parts, and we ordered pedals and seats and all the things that go along. And in the Longview chapter of AMBUCS started building me Amtrikes. We didn't know that's what they were called at first, but that's what we did. I measured a little boy named Bobby Hill who had spina bifida. He had no use or very little use of his legs and feet, and he just hated being out in the dirt. He didn't enjoy it at all, so he stayed in the house all the time and was getting overweight really fast, even though he was just a little guy. And I measured him, and the Longview chapter of AMBUCS built me a tricycle that pedaled with the hands and the feet. And he came to a meeting with his dad, and we put him on it and strapped his feet in, strapped his seatbelt on, and we didn't strap his hands on because he was a real strong little guy. And we let him go, and he started pedaling that thing and went across the restaurant and knocked over a couple chairs and a table, and those 80 men went crazy. And I turned around and looked, and there was Gene Allen with just tears rolling down his cheeks, and I looked over, and there was Dad with just tears rolling down his cheek, and I thought to myself, you know, I think we got something here. And in the coming months, I would measure a rider, they would build a bike. I would measure a rider, they would build a bike. And we did this for quite some time. And after a couple of years, they decided they really didn't want to stay in the bike building business. They were all men who had jobs and businesses, and they volunteered in AMBUCS, but this had got to kind of become a life of its own. So they gave the operation to the National AMBUC organization, who then started their own Amtrak LLC and started their own Ability Advisory Board of members of therapists and investors and researchers and engineers and anybody that we thought could be a great team member to help us build this company up to what it is today. That was 30 years ago. And wow, look how far we've come. We've had our problems with builders and changing models and different things. And a little bit of advice to everybody right now. We spent 4 years getting the AM9 Amtrak out. And I really pushed for that because it fit the clients that I worked with, the very little ones. 4 years. We tried one after another of different kind of trikes, different kind of adaptions, different kind of things from different companies. 4 years, long years, I waited for the right bike for my little clients that I see all the time. So let's be patient. I understand everybody's ready for some new bikes, and we're having trouble getting enough bikes. And that's a good problem to have. That means we need them desperately. But be patient. We want to get it right. We want to have the right Amtrak that will do the best for all of us and be most efficient and most economical. So hang in there on that. It's coming. It's coming. So what's this year going to look like since we've just had such a crazy year? I think it's given us opportunities to realize we can do things better. We don't have to get on an airplane and travel and stay at a hotel to have a meeting. We can do it virtually just like we're doing this. And I think we can run our organization efficiently this way. And we can include more people in more meetings to share more ideas, to come up with more solutions to solve any issues we come across in the AMBUC world. It's been a challenging year when it comes to finances. We've been unable to do fundraisers. We've been unable to go out and seek new sponsors. And we've even been tied down and not able to do our actual AMBUC stuff. We've struggled with giving away Amtrikes and building ramps and doing the parks and all the things that we do as AMBUCS. But you know what? We're starting back. I've seen videos and pictures on Facebook every day in the last few months and as the areas open up across the nation. And it'll continue to get better, and we'll be back on our feet again. This hasn't knocked us down. This has made us stronger. And I think together we'll find out just exactly what we're made of. But some of the challenges that I see in our organization is obviously growth of membership. We've always struggled with that. We've been about the same size for several years. When I met with other civic organizations that are so much larger than we are, it makes me wonder why we can't get more members. So I'm going to challenge you right off the bat. I challenge you to find a member and mentor them for a year. Oh, wow, what's mentoring? Mentoring is going to include teaching them everything about AMBUCS that took you a long time to learn. And sometimes, some of us never even learned it. We need to go to the national webpage and read about the history of AMBUCS and all the things that make us what we are, and then share that with this new member. You need to pick them up and take them to breakfast on the way to activities of AMBUCS, where you have time to share why we're there, what we're about to do, and who we are. There's a lot to learn about AMBUCS. There's the William L. White Scholarship Program. There's Cornerstone. There's Ability. There's Amtrikes. There's community service. There's so many things, and we need to take the time to really train someone and educate them on what we do. I think if we mentor and educate and train and teach and show them our love of AMBUCS, we'll end up with twice as many great AMBUCS as we have now. And it would be great to come back next year at our national conference in August and say, look at all these new members we have, and how exciting that would be to have more people doing this mission, serving others. We serve others no matter what you want to say we do. We take care of people's needs. When we give people Amtrikes, we change their lives. We give them a mobility device that helps them exercise, get stronger, and have fun. It also includes them with the rest of the folks. It gets them out with other children riding bikes. Our adult veteran program gets men off the couch and outside and getting that exercise they so desperately need. And there's so many issues with people that We've met their needs with an Amtrike, and that's a great program. But we've also built many ramps to help people get in and out of their homes. There's nothing worse to be trapped in your own home and unable to get down some steps to get out to the drive and into the car. And we, across the nation, have built ramp after ramp after ramp and saw the smiles and tears on their faces as they walked down them for the first time in and out of their houses. So many times we've heard them say, I haven't left this house in months because I couldn't get down those steps. We're changing lives. We help in so many other ways with our scholarship program. I'm a practicing pediatric physical therapy, and I've just finished my 43rd year. And we need more therapists. And as I prepare to retire, it's so exciting to know that in the past 30 years, as I've been a part of this organization, we've helped educate more therapists to continue working with those people that have been injured or born with illnesses or issues that cause them not to have the mobility they need. We have so many opportunities ahead of us, so many things that we can do, so many ideas out there. We need to put those ideas down on paper, start sharing them with each other, and start building on solutions to resolve those issues. People need our help. There's not a better group of people to go out and start new and different things during this time that's a-changing. It's all different out there, but we can make a change no matter what's going on, and we'll find our resources. We have the manpower. We have the people. We have the energy, and we can go out and do this. My challenge is, help me do it together. A good friend of mine who was a past national president was giving me some advice, and he said, Sue, just work on one thing. That's all you're going to have time to do in your year. Well, I'm working on one thing, and that's to start training and mobilizing and starting some new programs where our organization does it as a group, not me. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to ramrod it. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to ask you to be a part of it, and we're going to make it happen virtually. There's a little over 160 chapters, I think, nationwide. I'm going to try to visit every one of them. You'll say, how are you going to do that? Virtually. I'd love to do a program for your organization, for your chapter. Get in touch with me and we'll work it out. I'd love to see or be at one of your events. We can work it out. I don't have to physically be there. I can be a part of you and be with you by just attending virtually. So I want to see that happen, and I want to challenge more people. We have a lot of great past national presidents and national officers that have so much to give and share on scholarships, on Amtrikes, on Cornerstone, on all the different programs we've got. Invite them to speak at your meetings virtually. They would love to do it. They all have the knowledge. They'd love to share it with you. It's all about helping each other out. And that's all we do as an organization. We're out there helping each other out. I appreciate all the cards and letters and encouragement and emails and texts that I've received recently, and look forward to continually communicating with you through all the different ways that we have. I think this is going to be the best year yet. I think coming off of what we've been through, we're going to be even better. We're going to be more efficient, and I think we'll work great together because we're excited about getting back out there and doing the AMBUCS mission. And you can be a part of it. Get in touch with me. Let me know what your interests are, and we can find something to get you involved in. I'd like to close with a prayer that I think is appropriate for our group. Would you join me in prayer? It is the time and space that we acknowledge you as the giver of all good things. You are our great provider. As you have loved us, help us to love others. Help us to see the needs of others as we see the wants in our own lives. Forgive us when we try to argue our way out of lending a helping hand. Forgive the times we assume we understand others' experiences instead of truly listening and placing ourselves in their shoes. Teach us to understand the weaknesses in others as we recognize the weaknesses in ourselves. Father, help us be a source of unity as we make ourselves vulnerable to the needs of others. As we soften our heart, help others see you in us. Remind us of how Christ lived in humility so that we may serve those in need. May we think of the least, the last, and the lost, so we might love in Jesus' name. Help us understand that poverty and vulnerability extend beyond the physical. We pray for those who feel under-resourced, underrepresented, and underappreciated. Help us to recognize the need and be administrators of grace. Where there is hostility, Help us perpetuate love. Give us the courage to stand up and speak up for those who are unable and unwilling. Remind us of those who cannot control their circumstances, the children, the elderly, the sick. Help us realize it is by your grace and mercy we live and breathe. Help us live out our gratitude by remembering others. Continue to work in us as we work in the lives of others, that we may be overflowing vessels of peace to a dry and weary world. In Jesus' name, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, as my last act as president, it is my time to now retire the American flag.
We look forward to seeing all of you and even more AMBUCS and guests at the Galt House Hotel in Louisville, Kentucky on August 25th through 28th, 2021. Here's a brief video to introduce you to Louisville and the hotel. Let's watch it together.
Louisville.
It's not Louisville. It's not Louisville. It's Louisville. I like to think that we are the northernmost southern city.
I think it's more northern.
We walk that fine line, the Mason-Dixon line.
People here know what sweet tea is.
It's about as Yankee as the South gets, and it's not quite the Midwest.
High Southern. We're high South.
I don't know what high Southern means.
I don't either. I just made it up.
Derby spirit's alive and well throughout Louisville all year long. If you visit Louisville, you're gonna get a little taste of Derby.
It's not really an event, it's a feeling, it's an emotion for the city, and it's extremely heartfelt.
We all say we weren't born in Louisville, but we got here as fast as we could.
So genuine and charming.
I just think it's a cool little small town. It's like a huge city in a small town.
It's got the small town atmosphere and all the amenities of a large city.
People are really genuine. They want to know where you're from, what you're about, and I have an affinity for horse racing and bourbon, and that's why I've stayed here ever since.
Louisville is the shit.
I think that people in Louisville consider it like their duty as a citizen to make sure that out-of-towners are having a good time, that they know where they're going.
Literally, anything you want to do in this town, you can do it.
The neighborhoods are great here.
Everything's a decent walk away.
There's arts, there's food, there's culture.
It's really difficult to throw a rock and not hit a good restaurant in Louisville.
Our food scene is second to none. We probably have the best slow foods, local food movement in the entire country.
A group of diverse and passionate chefs have been doing amazing food here.
The performing arts here, of course, are fantastic.
We're extremely happy to be here.
Got a really great underground music scene.
We break bands at Zanzibar. That's what we're built for.
I always send people to 21C Museum Hotel. The top artists in the world will show their work there.
We've got great bourbon.
Bourbon is to Kentucky what hula skirts are to Hawaii.
Bourbon families for hundreds of years have settled in Kentucky. It's the seat of tradition and heritage.
You're gonna experience some bourbon while you're here.
Makers.
Buffalo Trace.
Booker's Bakers.
Bullet.
Basil Hayden.
Stitzel-Weller.
Old Fitzgerald.
Old Forester.
1792.
Woodford.
Happy Van Winkle.
Everybody I know is always drinking bourbon.
And it's a very special place. The people are warm and friendly.
When I first came through the area about 10 years ago, I was instantly smitten.
We just have a warm embrace for everybody that comes.
We don't think we're better than anybody. We're just really happy with where we're at.
Which is not a bad way to be.
I want to issue everybody a warning, though. If they come here, they're probably going to want to stay.
Hey guys, it's me, Levi Christosik. I wanted to say hi to my AMBUCS friends, and I'm up here in Neely, Mississippi at my hunting camp. I just wanted to say hi. I'm still patiently waiting for my AMBUCS bike, but we're getting ready to plow the fields. Let's get to it. Just kidding. We're not gonna use that old thing. Y'all really thought I was gonna use that thing? Really? No, we're gonna use a tractor. I was just joking with y'all. So stay safe and stay healthy during this pandemic, and let's hope this gets over with soon so we can get back to doing bike things. So I'll see y'all later. Peace.
I declare the 98th National AMBUCS Conference officially adjourned. Now go out there and give them AMBUCS.